Magic cards are about to become a lot cheaper in the secondary market, but other cards are about to have their values obliterated. And we also have to finish off today's video with the LGSs out there and how they're going to deal with the crisis of the secondary market. We got a lot to cover in today's video. Time to get started. If I had a magic 8-ball in my hand right now and I shook it and showed it to everyone out there, it would probably say, outlook, not good. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today. Guys, for all the new subscribers out there, for everyone who's been joining the channel and hitting that subscribe button, helping me get closer to 20,000 subscribers, thanks again, guys. We are getting closer every day. Anyone who's taking the time to do it, thanks again to everyone. Turning the notification bells on, watching the videos every day, getting it out there is amazing. Thank you to everyone who's also taking the time to email to my regular viewers. Just epic to be able to share these conversations with you each and every day. And we have some stuff to cover today. Now, we all know Commander Masters is coming. And when you look at the dialogue going on between players, play groups, stores, LGSs, distributors, there's a whole smattering of information out there, and depending on where you are and who you're talking to, there's different outlooks and opinions on what's happening. For a lot of players, these falling prices are a good thing. It'll make the cards more affordable. Most of these cards we're seeing that are lower end cards like Krenko, Mob Boss and stuff being reprinted, well, they're going to head to like the dollar aisle, like go to Dollarama, you can just pick that card right off the shelf because it's going to be a bulk rare at this point. There's just been so many printings. There's no reason for it to be considered special anymore. And yet they continue to reprint and kill the IP of stuff like that. I'll show you guys a few cards as we go through today's video because we have to cover what's going to happen. It's not just that these cards are being reprinted. Some of the choices that Wizards of the Coast have made, they've been reprinted too many times. So that's basically guaranteeing these cards become bulk rares with no real value anymore. They've gone from $5, they're going to fall to like $1 or $2. They're going to be so readily available or unplayable as newer versions come out that it just doesn't justify the expense. And that's where the problem with Commander Masters is. We know these cards are going to fall in value. Anyone who's not a Timmy out there knows that these cards 90 days, 120 days out tend to fall in value. So 3-4 months out, the cards start falling because the glut hits the market and the money moves on to new sets, by the way, as well. All this culminates in cheaper prices. And of course, now with Amazon dumps and what's been going on, there's just a lot of insecurity in the secondary market. There's a lot of stuff going on that people aren't really happy about. There are groups of players that are ecstatic, but for anyone who buys these cards at top dollar, to watch Urza, you know what? Before I start let's take a look at a few of these cards. Let me show you guys what I mean. So I just want to share some of these cards with you. I want you to look at the values there. Omnath was at $40 and now it's like a $6 card and they just shoved it in. It's only been a couple of sets already, but the value's been declining for a while. Then you get cards like the Chainer here. This card was reprinted in Dominaria Remastered. That's less than 12 months ago. Why is it being reprinted again? Then of course we get Urza, the Lord High Artificer. This card was a $50, $60 card in Modern Horizons, and everyone wanted it. And now it's going to be a $5, $6 card after it gets released again. Because again, Dominaria Remastered already saw this card. And let me finish off by sharing with you guys Kozilek, okay? When you take a look at Kozilek, the Great Distortion, what do you see? Do you see an amazing card you have to have? Or a good card, but has, again, falling value? This card wasn't expensive to begin with, and they considered this, by the way, a spicy card. Now, I want you to think about the cards I just showed you. All of them have falling prices. As soon as they were announced, the prices started to tank. Anyone who paid for these cards and bought them at full price just gets obliterated, right? So it leaves that sour taste in your mouth, wondering, what is the bottom? Well, the bottom is bulk. I want everyone to understand that now. The bottom for any card that can be reprinted is basically bulk. $1. Proxy level cards. And it's because Wizards of the Coast has that canvas where they can make new cards. They can move on, make a better, bigger, better version later on. Look at Ragavan. They can move things along. And that's why they always have power creep and things cycling along. And that's the problem. When they don't manage the IPs and make the cards at least have playability still that you will desire at some kind of value, it loses its allure. When you lose the allure, your brain will have a hard time justifying spending $400+ a box. And when you mix in that whole Amazon nightmare that people are going through right now, where people paid $300 to $400 a box for Dominaria United collector boxes, right? With the Lost Legends and all that cool stuff. And now those boxes are 100 and some change. That's a hard pill to swallow. I understand people are saying that's the old print runs and all that. I've heard those same rumors. And I also know that they're supposedly tightening the print run. I'm hearing that. But is it tight enough? Probably not. It probably still won't be tight enough to retain the value they need to justify the prices they're trying to give us. That's where things get left off. Interesting stuff. So why would you buy a card that you know is going to get printed within a 12-month period? Dominaria Remastered just had the card and you printed it again. So somebody who bought it in 2022 goes ahead and buys Urza for $40-50. Then it got reprinted. Okay, one reprint kind of makes sense. And then less than 12 months later, we reprint it again. Value goes to nil. Nuked it. It's done. That's a bad day in anyone's world. Great for the players looking to get the card, but for people who took the initial steps to get it, it just makes you wonder why you do it at all. Why don't you just wait for the cards to go cheap? Now, let's go to the LGS side of things, shall we? Let's pop over here and be Mr. LGS. Your LGS has to order all these sealed boxes ahead of time. They also buy cards on the secondary market to resell in their stores at a profit. And although Wizards of the Coast can say that, we derive no income from the secondary market, maybe not directly, but indirectly they do. Because what cards go up in value, how the cards are played, and how they are sold by the LGS reflects on which cards get reprinted inside reprint sets. Remember that. So Wizards of the Coast, we all know what you're thinking and doing, and it just doesn't make sense. So don't tell us it's an egg when really it's still just the chicken. All right, it doesn't work. So I look at that now, and the LGS over there saying, well, all these cards are getting reprinted. It's hard to get the value out. Their buy lists are going to go lower. As a general rule, they're going to lower buy lists on everything. Why would they take the risk? Why should they pay you 80 cents on the dollar if the card gets reprinted and they lose 40 cents on the dollar by the reprinting? So they paid 80 and already, it doesn't make sense. So expect in the next 12 months to get lower buy lists. Lower values overall because the value can't be sustained when you don't have faith that the cards will retain value for at least a couple of years. Wow. I'm telling you, this is some kind of show where we overpaid for the ticket. The show's kind of watered down, the pop's kind of flat, and the tricks are kind of predictable. And they are just for kids. I don't know what to tell you guys other than there is going to be a new bottom. It's going to be bulk. It's going to be low-end cards. Lots of playable, fun stuff. But you can't depend on any of these cards having value. And you should not pay top dollar for these cards in any way or form. There's no reason to do it. Because they're just showing that those values are not going to hold. And that's something you as the player have to decide. You have to spend with your wallet consciously. Do I still want singles from this set? Absolutely. But I am not a Timmy. So I'm going to wait the 120 days. I will map out the cards I want. I know the history. I already know where these cards have been before and what price reflections will happen. I'll do videos on it to tell you guys. Doesn't mean the card you want will be there, but it will mean you'll get an idea of where the prices should fall to based on where they've been printed so many times. Crazy stuff, guys. And if there's a card you want to know about, you can always email me. I'll look it up for you. I can find out the data. It takes me like 20 minutes. It's not that hard. This is really interesting times to see because the new bottom that will be found will really set the tone going forward, and I'll be interested to see how Wizards of the Coast reacts to lower buy lists, lower sales, tightening print runs, just as a whole, how they will react and how they take the company forward after this. With diminishing returns, which is a great Magic card, it's going to be interesting. So thanks a lot for hanging out with me today. Thanks for being here on the channel. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments in the comments section. I know most of you will probably appreciate the cheaper prices, but how about the multiple reprintings in 1 year? Doesn't that seem kind of insulting? Let me know what you guys are thinking. It's going to be a great conversation. Thanks again, everyone, for allowing me to entertain you each and every day. For those new people out there hitting the subscribe button, awesome. Regular viewers, you already know you're amazing. 20K party, planning feverishly to get it all in place. Guys, thanks again for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Have an awesome day. Ah, yes, the amazing patrons of the channel. Thanks again to all the fantastic patrons I have supporting my channel each and every day, allowing for daily uploaded content for everyone to enjoy. Thanks again to the fantastic patrons. Looking forward to seeing you on the live stream this weekend. Don't buy it. That's where I am. That's my head. Just don't buy it. Look at some of those cards they choose to reprint. Poor Urza. He deserves better than that. You can't keep it around 25 bucks to show that it's Urza? I don't know, guys. I know the value shouldn't matter. But when everything's special, nothing's special. Alternate art frames, who cares? Same window dressing. We've talked about this. I'm going to keep banging that drum until it falls apart. Ridiculous to think they should expect us to pay that price and offer so little in return. Ooh, the medallions. Guys, they're $30 cards. They weren't that pricey. They weren't cheap, but they weren't that pricey. Like, it's not like we're talking about dual land here. And I wonder how this will affect the reserve list buying in the next 200 days. Because that upshift we've been seeing in sales, I can't wait to do the numbers this weekend and see where some of this reserve list shopping has ended. I know there's been reduced sales on my TCG affiliate. I know we're not getting as many sales there. I mean, people are just using my link less, so I don't really know what's going on. But it's just curious to see how it'll all pan out in the long run. So crazy stuff. It's gonna be a fun time to follow all this. So thanks a lot for being here at the Ramble Jamble section. Of course, you will shop smart, shop S-Smart. I actually have to do a double video today because it's a crazy busy weekend. So I'm going to get more coffee. I know. I need an endless cup, man. I need some kind of like magic trick, like in Doctor Strange, like Thor, where he keeps refilling the beer mug. That's what I need, but for coffee. All right, guys. Thanks a lot, man. I'll see you guys later. Have an awesome day. Now I feel like watching Avengers.